I would describe myself as a conservative person. I do not like when things change too much. If I like something, I wish it could stay like that forever. The truth is, even if the thing you love remains the same, you might be the one who changes. And over time, you can even grow bored of the thing you held so dear. There is a place I like to visit every year, a place that allows me to enter a state of utter peace. Every time upon getting out of the car, I can feel it. It's as if the time slows down. There is no rush, no shouting, no loud music playing on every corner, the loudest sound being the ever-present, distant hum of the sea, as the waves crash against the coast. One of my favorite places to be, maybe the most favorite one. It is not just the sea, it's everything. The pine forest stretching along the shore, the food, and yes, of course, the sea itself. That is the thing number one. I visit this place with my family almost every year, a week in the summer, to slow down, to center myself. And if we skip it, I can feel it the entire following year, but something is just missing. This place, even though a majority of it stays the same, it is always interesting to notice the differences. Some are positive, some negative, some done by human hand, and some thanks to the nature. The nature. It holds so much power. The coast here is made mostly out of sand dunes, and they are different every year, thanks to the combined powers of water and wind. So yes, maybe the paths leading to the beach are the same. The beach itself is different each and every time. Sometimes we come, and it is very narrow, and the next year, it might be wider than we have ever seen. You never know what you'll get. I remember there was a sign that one year we could walk underneath, and there was no chance we would hit our heads. 2 years passed, and the sign was practically on the ground. You would have to kneel to get under it. When I observe these things, it always reminds me of how everything is constantly changing, and there is no way you can stop this flow. Sometimes it makes me sad. A thing I was so fond of disappears or alters so much I can barely recognize it. And I get these moments of remembering how it used to be and how much I would want those things back. But dwelling too much in the past has never done any good to anyone. It only takes you the time you have right now. But just as much as it makes me feel nostalgic, it also fills me with wonder. What a force the change is in a few decades, or maybe a century. How is this place going to look? Would I even recognize my little town by the sea? Would any of my favorite places to eat still be working? Will these wood pillars or their remnants still be here? Or will there be no signs of them? Will the sign I spoke about disappear below the sand over the years? How many new things will come to life? This year, just after our arrival, we've received a rather upsetting message. The owner of the area here decided to use a part of the property and build a 4-story apartment building. To give you a bit more detail, the area here consists of wooden cabins, some bigger, some smaller, trees growing all around them, giving you the feeling that you are in the forest, which I guess is true. The cabins and the trees just coexist alongside one another, and it lets you immerse in the feeling of living in the nature. The 4-story building is going to be a big change. There is going to be much more people and a lot more noise, and they will have to cut down a big part of the forest, changing the landscape by a great deal. For us it means that it might be our last time here, for a few years at least. Definitely the next one. since there's going to be a building site. It was the kind of message you need to process. Hearing it for the first time, it just doesn't get to you entirely. But just as much as I will miss the place, I'm also grateful, enormously, to be here, right now. Going to the beach, observing, watching the waves. It brings me back to the truth. We just need to accept things as they are. That's life. It doesn't always go the way you would want. But being here, by the sea, it reassures me that change isn't always bad. It is simply a change. So maybe it makes me sad sometimes. It also reminds me of how life is, the true side of it, and I am grateful for that. You never know what will happen next year, next month, or the next day. And seeing the nature change, and yes, some things will get lost. That part is inevitable, but new things may come. It reminds me of that my life is happening right now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. You can't really stop the time. And refusing the constant change is pointless. But by being in the moment as much as you can, enjoying every second of it, not holding on to the past, and not looking too much in the future, that is as close as you will ever get to making the time slow down.